Well, it's time. I'm finally gonna read The Priory of the Orange Tree.
I know it's formatted big and it's not as big as it seems, but my big book fear is strong with this one. I'm tackling that. I'm overcoming that.
I don't know how this book has become my white whale in 2023, but that ends. I am finally going to get to Priory. I'm going to make this happen. It is well into March, and I have no business putting this off. I am so late to this game, and it's time. This is the year that I am finally overcoming my big book fear. I have said I'm going to read this book last fall. I have said I'm going to read this book in the winter. I have said I was going to read this book in the spring. I think I looked you in the eye and promised you that you would see this in my April or May wrap-up. Well, that didn't happen. Maybe it's time to re-enter my dragon phase. Dragon summer of 2024, anybody? I am extremely late to this party. The hype has fully died down, and this has been on my shelf collecting dust for a while. I really don't know much about it except that most people love it. It features dragons, and I believe it is sapphic, and that is the extent of my knowledge of this book. I do also own the prequel, A Day of Fallen Night, I believe. It is somewhere buried in my TBR stack, and hopefully I love this so much and it knocks my little socks off and I have to pick up A Day of Fallen Night right away. I have no idea, we'll see. So today is Wednesday, July 3rd, and I have 5 days off in a row before I have to go back to work, and I figure what else to do than film my first ever reading vlog. So come with me as I enjoy the holiday and also finally read this. Finally! Without a doubt, 100%, the reason I have not read this is the sheer size of this monster. This is a book of biblical proportions. Not only is it intimidating because it is 800 pages long, but because I don't want to curl up with a book of this size and shape. I don't want to take this brick into my cozy little couch reading nook or into bed in the morning, and you know what I mean. Like, this is inconvenient. In addition to the physical book, I do also have a copy of the audiobook, so for any reason I'm just too fed up with lugging around this hardcover behemoth, I can switch to listen to it if I want. I'm giving myself permission. My current plan is to start this tonight. It's currently about 9:30 in the morning, and my friend Danielle is on her way, and we're gonna spend the day together. We're gonna go to a flower shop, we're gonna go to a bookstore, we're gonna get lunch together. I am sure there will be coffee and ice cream involved. Then I'm gonna get home, curl up on the couch, and crack this bad boy open. I should also mention that I plan for this video to be largely spoiler free. I plan on just checking in periodically and letting you know my thoughts as I go, as well as a review at the end of whether or not I think it was worth the hype. But if I divulge anything that could be considered a spoiler, I will give you ample warning just in case you're one of the 3 people out there like me who haven't read this yet. So with that being said, I actually need to go get ready, but I'll take you with me and check in with you soon when I have some thoughts to share about this book. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. My first vlog. Woohoo! I'm back home from a magical dream of a day. My friend Danielle and I did
like all of our favorite things. The only thing was that it was very hot, like we could never cool off. And our favorite flower shop switched to summer hours. And so we got there after they closed, which was a bummer. But we ended up going to some other market that wasn't as cute, but it was still amazing. It was just a magical day, and I did buy 4 books, so why don't I show you those? First 2 are recommendations from Haley over on TikTok, and she gave me a list of 10 different book recommendations, and these first 2 are from her list. So the first one is Mary by Nat Cassidy. It says that Nat Cassidy's horror debut novel blends Midsummer with elements of American Psycho and a pinch of I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I don't know, sounds pretty good. The next one I picked up from her list is Swift River. So I don't know much about this book except that I think it's a new release. I believe it came out this year. Haley said it made her cry, and I have heard 100% only positive reviews about it. I'm hoping that it's like a family saga that pulls on your heartstrings, but I really don't know, so I'll find out. The next 2 I picked up just for fun, and the first one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. A couple of my friends are obsessed with this series, and it kind of just sounds like a YA murder mystery. It kind of sounds like a good like palate cleanser or a good book to have on hand to like avoid a book slump. It's like a really fun, easy, silly read. I don't know, but let me know if you've read these and if you thought they were fun. So this next one, I'm 99% sure I have the digital galley on my Kindle and I never got to it, but it came out like last week or the week before and I ended up buying a physical copy. It's a novel love story. I really enjoyed 7 Year Slip from this author. Dead Romantics was cute, but I really liked the 7 Year Slip, so I'm hoping this one is good. I've had good luck with the other blurple new releases that have come out this year. So yeah, these are the books I got today from 2 separate bookstores, and I would call this a successful haul. So that was a glorious way to kick off my vacation, and I'm gonna start reading Priory tonight. So I'll tune in soon with my thoughts. I'm gonna start it, y'all. It is currently thunderstorming a lot, and there are also countless fireworks going off because it's also Independence Day. So there's a lot happening right now. I am a little over 100 pages in, and it is full of names. There are so many names. Thankfully though, there are about 20 pages of named characters and a guide in the back, in addition to a brief history of how we got here in the book. And so far, there are very few dragons. Hopefully that changes soon. We are following the perspective of a mage who is like exiled on an island. There's a queen who is expected to produce an heir and doesn't want to, as well as a lady in waiting that is placed in station high up in this high house, and there's a dragon rider. So we're alternating between these 4 perspectives so far, and again, there are so many named characters. A book like this, it's gonna take its time to ramp up and then weave together all the storylines. At least I expect so. That being said, it's definitely interesting. I am really enjoying that we are alternating between the perspectives in the East and the West, which is divided because of political and religious reasons. There's also this like draconian plague afoot. Very interesting, but again, kind of a slow start, which I expected. It just makes it kind of hard to read it at night. Tomorrow I have a bunch of errands to run, and I'm thinking of trying to switch to the audiobook so I can like knock some of it out, but I'm a little scared of how the names will translate from page to hearing. So we'll see. I'm not sure, but I am really interested in cranking out more of it and really like getting my teeth into the story. I don't have much of an update yet. It's just too soon for me to have a whole lot of fully formed thoughts and opinions because I'm still trying to like get my bearings, get grounded, and like recognize repeated names. You know, the high fantasy life. But so far I really like the writing style, and I do really enjoy the foundation that it's laying. I just really wish there were more dragons. Maybe it was too much to ask for dragons in the first eighth of this book, but just kind of thought there would be dragons. So yeah, I'm gonna read some more and check in with you soon. He's a little stressed about all the noises. Yeah, aren't you, buddy? Mwah. Very close. Hi, I am about to go get my nails done with my friend Summer. I have little tiny cherries on my nails, but they're all grown out, so I'm gonna get little strawberries on my nails today. Apparently it's the summer of fruit-themed manicures. Anyway, I switched to the audiobook for my drive here, and I will say it's helped me a lot with the pronunciation of everything. Now I know how to say Iad's name, and I love her. I'm obsessed with her, and I am really enjoying this. It is really interesting because it's been a while since I read a high fantasy where you really had to invest in the time and the buildup of waiting for every player to get where they're gonna get so that things can really start to happen, and I'm loving it. I forgot how like satisfying that payoff is, and I'm trusting that this one's gonna be good. Like I said last night, I'm almost done with book 1, and there's still so few dragons. So hope that one of the reasons I picked this up was for dragon riding scenes. So I'm hungry for more. There's not 0, but there's not as many as I expected. But I'm loving the ways that the characters are all shaking out. Without giving anything away, I will say there's a prophecy that's sort of driving a lot of the motivations of the characters regarding someone called the Nameless One, and it harkens back to a lot of like the days of yore, olden days in the past, in the far history of the current times, and I'm wondering if those are Easter eggs for the prequel, A Day of Fallen Night, and if that's the case, it's getting me really excited to pick up more of those and then eventually get to the prequel. So let me know if you think it's worth it. This is the first time I've ever faced the camera towards me in public, and I have to say it's not even this isn't even in public, but I have to say it's nerve-wracking. Anyway, I'm loving it so far, to no one's surprise, and I will say it does fly by. Like everyone says, it's just formatted big. There's no reason for this book to be 800 pages. The margins are huge, the words are huge, the pages are thick, but that does make it really satisfying, and it's just flying by. I haven't even had that much time to sit down and read, and I've still read over 200 pages in like very little actual sit down reading time. I'm also excited to go back to the physical book because it is so satisfying how quickly it goes, and the audiobook narrator, I'm blown away. She's incredible, and I'm loving the accents and the pronunciation. So I might start switching back and forth. I think this might be a good candidate for that. Anyway, I am super late. I need to run inside, and I'll show you what our nails transformation looks like. So in case you care.
Whoopsie, I bought a book. My friend Summer said that she's reading this right now and it's really cute, and I was just convinced. I believe the concept is that this woman is suspicious that her fiance is spending a little too much time with one of his colleagues, so she teams up with the significant other of that colleague to try to find out if their other people are cheating on each other. So it sounds kind of fun. I wonder what's gonna happen if maybe they spend their summer Fridays together. Takes place in the 90s, and it kind of gave me like Friends vibes. Just look at this cover. Like, come on, that's so cute. Oh, and look at my nails. Aren't they so cute? Oh, I'm obsessed. My friend Summer got little watermelon nails, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get those next. I'm copying you. So catch me in a couple weeks with watermelon nails. And I'm gonna go home and make dinner and read. So yeah, let's go. Happy Saturday. What are we headed to go do?
Going to a table tennis tournament in Springfield.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
So this is a very mutually beneficial hobby that Brady has, because he can go play ping pong and I can sit in the stands and read. Today I brought Priory of the Orange Tree with me. I'm hoping to finish books 2 and 3, and I also have a video to edit. My June wrap up is a couple days late, so I'm gonna edit that and get it ready to go. So that's my plan. And meanwhile, what are you participating in today?
I am participating in a somewhat low-level event, the under 1400, because my rating is really bad. So I guess we'll see what it does after this tournament. If it doesn't go up, I'll be pretty sad. And then I guess this tournament, a lot of people really like this special event that they do here. It's a gigantic round robin where like everybody kind of plays everybody, and then you advance out of that into different groups, different like tiers based on how you do in the round robin. And I've never played at this tournament. I've never played a giant round robin, but people say it's really special. It's really fun. So I'm excited to play that too.
Hooray. Well, we'll check in soon. Let you know how Brady does, and I'll tell you how far I get in the book. Hooray. People looking.
Yeah, everyone's judging you in the cars around us. They all see you.
Are you excited?
I feel like I was able to kind of get relaxed, get in the feel. We'll see. I beat Hayden 3-0.
This morning I went for a run. I weeded the front beds. They were bad, and I listened to my book the whole time, and it's getting really good. It's getting really good. Still wish there were more dragons, but I'm loving it. We're gonna go get breakfast. So, do you wanna show them your medal? He got 3rd place. All I can think about is how I wanna get back home and read more, because holy shit, it is getting intense.
This is a slightly better participation trophy.
It's
That's not
like
true. You
a
earned
trophy
that.
for participating slightly better than just participating. Nice camera.
Oh yeah, Wimbledon's on. Who are you pulling for?
I mean, Shelton, Ritz, Goff.
Everything I know about tennis, I know from Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Good morning. It is Monday. This is what my bangs look like when I wake up. And I want a Peloton, and then I have to log on for work. My vacation is over. I fully expected to have this done by last night. I thought 5 days was plenty, but it's been busy. I've been really enjoying my vacation to its fullest. So last night I got to the end of book 4, and I gotta say, we are cooking with gas now. And I am back in my fantasy bag. Part of the reason I think I had such a slow start is that high fantasy really is like flexing a muscle, and I had to sort of get back into the swing of things, but I'm back. It is not a primary part of the plot, but there is a romance in this book that had me squealing out loud and kicking my little feet, and everything that just went down at the end of book 4. It's a crime that I have to work today, but after work I have no plans, and I plan on sitting down, finishing it, and then I can tell you my thoughts. So this book has multiple POVs, and there is a very clear through line and a tapestry that's being woven from all of them. But the two main ones that you just cannot get enough are two women, and their journeys are both so interesting. They are just total badasses. The way that the author makes every location that you are placed in feel very distinct and different from the rest is mind-blowing. But one thing I'm really loving is how unique the gender politics are in this book, which is something you don't really see in high fantasy, I feel. In Priory, the author has imagined a world where the gender roles aren't the same as in our own history, and that is so refreshing to see. There has been zero threat of any SA, and all genders are put on an equal playing field, which is really cool. And I feel like that's something I am so desensitized to existing, especially just for the sake of furthering plot. Priory is managing to tick the boxes for everything you would want in a traditional fantasy novel, while also being so refreshing and new and amazing. By traditional, I mean that there is a monarchy, there is fate and prophecy, there are dragons and magic, there are conflicting religious systems and really complex political intrigue. However, in a very male-dominated subgenre, this is a female-written and female-read novel. She's made a traditional fantasy story into one that is diverse and queer, and yet none of the conflict stems from racial diversity or gender. I cannot rant enough about how incredible the world building is in this novel, so if that's something you really enjoy in your high fantasy, you'll definitely love this one. I was fully intimidated by the size of this book, and it took me a good 100 pages before I felt really engaged and locked in, but man, do I feel engaged and locked in now. Well, I've sat here long enough. I've got to go finish my coffee, Peloton, and then log on for work. So, check in with you soon. I finished, and I think it is absolutely worth the hype. Everything everyone says is true. This is a rich, modern, classic fantasy novel with a monumental scope. It checks all the boxes that you could want for a high fantasy novel and then some. There's descriptive world building and rich, immersive storytelling. It's full of brilliantly sharp political intrigue and clashing religious factions. I loved every single glorious character arc. There are beautiful queer relationships. It's got riddles, it's got mysteries, it's got espionage, and extremely high stakes and steep consequences. I don't know if I've actually given you a high-level summary in the last 6 days, so here is my best condensed description of what this 800-page book is actually about. It has been a millennium since the Nameless One was banished. The Nameless One is a giant evil dragon who desperately wants to destroy the mortal world, and rumors of his return are looming. There is a massive cultural divide between the East and the West. Those in the East revere dragons as living gods, and those in the West fear and revile them. Unwed, Queen Sabran IX must conceive a daughter in order to protect the realm, as it is foretold that as long as her matriarchal bloodline reigns, the Nameless One will be held at bay, asleep beneath the seas. But assassins are infiltrating deeper and deeper into her court, and her secret protector, Ied, disguises herself as a lady-in-waiting, hiding her identity as a mage from the south with forbidden fire powers. Meanwhile, across the abyss, the East has closed its borders for a fear of a draconic plague. Here, Tane, who has spent her entire life training to become a dragon rider, is watching all of her dreams unravel. Then we've got Niclays, an alchemist who used to be a member of Sabran's court, and he has been banished to the East until he can unlock the secret of immortality. We also follow Loth, who is Sabran's closest friend, and he is a man who is deeply dedicated to his faith and his mission. His journey takes him to the far reaches of the world, and it calls into question everything he thought he believed. These beautifully flawed, sincere characters' storylines are woven together into a layered tapestry of vast proportions. Every decision they make ignites a chain reaction, and those sparks create explosions and aftershocks of drama and action throughout the entire story. Samantha Shannon did indeed craft an incredibly imaginative tale. She put every single one of those 260,000 words and 880 pages to good use, but she also delivered powerful character development and maximum emotional impact. If you haven't picked up The Priory of the Orange Tree, here's what you can expect. You can expect a sweeping epic high fantasy with a cast of remarkable, kick-ass, powerful, brilliant women. Queens, witches, warriors, and pirates, all in a world where gender equality is just a given. Read this for ancient magic, a gorgeous sapphic romance subplot, a secret order of female mages, dragon riding, alchemy, and espionaging. And lastly, intricately interwoven storylines from characters from all different belief systems and cultural differences and backgrounds. I'm hesitant to make this comparison because it's different in so many ways, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If you like the idea of a more feminist Game of Thrones, you'll love this. That being said, if you pick this up, be prepared for having no idea what on earth is going on for the first 100 pages or so. Like a lot of high fantasy, it does come with a very steep learning curve. But oh boy, does it pay off. If you like high fantasy and you've been intimidated to pick this one up because of the size or the hype, what have you, do yourself a favor and just open it up and let it immerse you. Now it's time to rest my poor, frail, weak little wrists from holding this book up for 6 days. Thank you for bearing with me for my first reading vlog. I had a lot of fun, but I also learned a lot along the way, so hopefully they just get better and better from here. If you liked this format and you want to see more reading vlogs from me, go ahead and give this a like. Let me know in the comments if you'd like for me to do a reading vlog for A Day of Fallen Night. I definitely will be picking it up soon. Also, if you have read Priory of the Orange Tree, let me know in the comments who your favorite character was. For me, it was definitely Ied. I love her. I love her. About a third of the way in, I realized this is going to be a 5-star read. And I was just sort of waiting for it to let me down, and it never did. There was only one thing I would change in this book, and by now you probably know what it is. And it's not a serious enough thing to deduct stars from it. More dragons. I want more dragons. Does A Day of Fallen Night have more dragons? Someone tell me. If you have any other dragon book recommendations, definitely let me know. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!